Welcome to video lecture on heat transfer. Myself Khushbu Shah, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJIET Institute of Engineering and Technology. In our previous session, we have started new chapter, which is chapter number 4, heat exchanger. In that, we have seen what is heat exchanger, how heat exchanger can be classified, and we have covered one derivation of log mean temperature difference. Now in today's session, we will see one of the important type of heat exchanger, which is known as shell and tube heat exchanger. Shell and tube heat exchanger is used in industry for variety of applications where large heat transfer surfaces are required. Application of shell and tube heat exchanger is very wide in industry, and particularly it is used where the large heat transfer area is required. You can see this is the sketch of shell and tube heat exchanger. See, these are the tubes. This is the main cylindrical vessel which is known as shell. In this there are the tubes. These are the baffles. One of the fluid which passes through the tube is known as tube side fluid, and this is the inlet of the tube side fluid. The fluid passes through these tubes, and this is the outlet of the tube side fluid. Simultaneously, this is the shell side fluid which enters from here, passes through this space between this tube and shell, and it leaves from the here. And through this travel along this space, there is heat transfer occur. Right? These exchanger consist of number of parallel tubes, ends of which are mounted in a tube sheet. These are the number of tubes. There is a tube sheet, and the tubes are mounted and on that tube sheet, and that entire tube bundle is enclosed inside a close fitting cylindrical shell. So that is the basic construction of shell and tube heat exchanger. Number of tubes are mounted on a tube sheet, and that tube bundle enters into the close fitting cylindrical shell. Right? One of the fluid flows through the tubes, which is called as tube side fluid, and the another fluid flows through the space which is created between the tube and shell, and that is known as the shell side fluid. This is very important. Again I am repeating. One of the fluid flows through the tubes, and it is known as tube side fluid. And another fluid which flows in the space which is created between the tube and shell, which is outside the tube, is known as the shell side fluid. The two fluids are in thermal contact but are physically separated by metal wall of the tubes. Right? Two fluids are in thermal contact but are physically separated by metal wall of the tube. Heat flows through the metal wall of the tubes from hot fluid to cold fluid. Right? Heat flows through metal wall of the tube from the hot fluid to cold fluid. And the tube side fluid may flow in one pass or more than one pass, depend on the application. But in general, even number of tube side passes are used. That means that there are number of tubes that may be used, but even number of tube side passes are generally used. In shell and tube heat exchanger, baffles are very important, and baffles are commonly used within the shell to increase the rate of heat transfer by increasing the velocity and turbulence of shell side fluid. Baffles are nothing but the metal plates which are placed at some distance. And what is the basic function of baffles? To increase the rate of heat transfer by increasing the velocity and turbulence of the shell side fluid. Now let's see what is tube pitch and tube clearance. Tube pitch is nothing but the shortest distance, center to center shortest distance between the adjacent tubes. There are two different arrangements. You can see triangular pitch and square pitch. And what is pitch? Pitch is the center to center distance between the two adjacent tubes. And when we call triangular pitch, when the tubes are placed like this, when it forms this triangle shape, you can see in the figure. And what is pitch here? The center to center distance between the two adjacent tubes is known as tube pitch. And this is triangular pitch, this is square pitch when the tubes are placed in a square shape. Right? See here. For square pitch, what is the tube pitch? This center to center distance is known as the tube pitch. What is tube clearance? The shortest distance between the two tubes is called as clearance. That means the surface to surface distance. Understand? Pitch is center to center distance between the two adjacent tubes and clearance is the shortest distance between the two tubes, not center to center distance. Right? That is known as the tube clearance. For pitch, it is center to center distance, and for clearance, it is the distance between the two tubes. So that is about the tube pitch and tube clearance. Next is the fouling, which generally occurs in a silent tube heat exchanger or any type of heat exchanger. Fouling of heat exchanger may be defined as the accumulation of unwanted deposits on heat transfer surfaces. Whenever we are designing any heat exchanger, at that time fouling is very important factor. Because when any heat transfer equipment put into service, there are possibility that after some time there is the accumulation of unwanted deposit on heat transfer surfaces. And that fouling is what? It is defined as the accumulation of unwanted deposit on heat transfer surfaces. The foulant layer imposes additional resistance to heat transfer. That means the deposit which form on the heat transfer surface, that creates resistance to heat transfer and narrowing of heat flow area, because it occupies the surface of heat exchanger and that's why it narrowing the flow area, and due to presence of deposit, it results in an increased velocity for a given volumetric flow rate. Right? So, fouling of heat exchanger is the accumulation of unwanted deposits on heat transfer surfaces, and that foulant that means the solid which deposit on the heat transfer area. Right? So, the foulant layer creates an additional resistance to heat transfer and it narrows the flow area. And due to the presence of deposit, it results in an increased velocity for a given volumetric flow rate. So this is very important factor while we are designing any type of heat exchanger. Let's see another topic, which is correction factor for LMTD. We have already derived the equation for simple LMTD, simple log mean temperature difference. What is correction for that LMTD? In 1-2 heat exchanger, 1-2 describes what? One shell, two tubes. Passes. In 1-2 silent tube heat exchanger, the tube side flows twice through the exchanger and shell side fluid flows once through it. In that, consecutively, there is a combination of co-current and counter-current flow pattern in such multi-pass units. When I will say 1-2, that means multi-pass, multi-tube, two tubes. That means it is a multi-pass heat exchanger. And in that, there is a combination of co-current and counter-current flow pattern. So, at that time, the rate of heat transfer in these units using corrected LMTD. For such type of heat exchanger, we have to use the corrected LMTD, corrected log mean temperature difference. It is nothing but log mean temperature difference, but we have to use the correction factor, and that correction factor is Ft. the equation remains same. What is the equation of LMTD? Q is equal to UA delta TLM. I am just introducing a correction factor which is known as FT. So my final equation will become Q is equal to UA delta TLM FT. And this FT is what? FT is correction factor for log mean temperature difference. And the value of that is usually taken as 0.85 to 0.9. So that is about the correction factor for LMTD. Let's say another topic is range and approach for heat exchanger. Range is the actual rise or fall of temperature. So, for example, if I say TH1 and TH2 is the inlet and outlet temperature of the hot fluid, then what is range for hot fluid? TH1 minus TH2 is the range for hot fluid. That is just the temperature difference of that particular fluid is the range of that fluid. Right? If TH1 and TH2 are inlet and outlet temperature of hot fluid, then TH1 minus TH2 is the range for hot fluid. But what is approach? Approach is the terminal point temperature difference between hot and cold fluid. Range is for a particular fluid, hot fluid, cold fluid, but approach is the terminal point temperature difference between hot fluid and cold fluid. To understand the approach, let us take one example. See here. This is counter current flow. This red line shows the hot fluid, blue line shows the cold fluid. Inlet temperature of hot fluid is 160, outlet temperature of hot fluid is 130 Fahrenheit. Inlet temperature of cold fluid is 88 degree Fahrenheit and outlet temperature of cold fluid is 108 degree Fahrenheit. For this example, what is approach? The approach is terminal point temperature difference between hot fluid and cold fluid. That means the temperature difference between these two. See the arrow. Temperature difference between these two. 160 minus 108. That is one approach. And 130 minus 88, that is another approach. So, if 160 Fahrenheit is the inlet temperature of hot fluid and 108 Fahrenheit is the outlet temperature of cold fluid, at one end of the heat exchanger, that means 160 minus 108 is called approach. That is terminal point temperature difference. Right? So, in today's session, we have covered the silent tube heat exchanger, what is fouling in silent tube heat exchanger, what is the pitch and clearance, what is the correction factor in LMTD, and what is the range and approach in any type of heat exchanger. I am completing this session here. I hope the session is clear to all. Thank you.